Senior Labour figures say the Commons Speaker Michael Martin has become the victim of a vendetta following more newspaper revolutions about his expenses. The latest reports focused on allowance claims he's made for his home in Glasgow. He's said to have received £75,000 over the past 6 years, even though he doesn't have a mortgage on the property. John Sparks reports.
Order. The Prime Minister is here. Order. I'm giving a ruling here, and it's an important point.
Michael Martin MP doing his job, keeping order in the Commons. Yet the pointed questions, the allegations now getting harder to control for the Speaker of the House, the man who ordered a root and branch review into MPs' allowances just 3 weeks ago, subject to accusations of abusing the same privileges. Yesterday, Michael Martin's spokesman, Mike Grannett, quit his post after admitting the Speaker's office had misled journalists over £4,000 of taxi expenses. In December, Grannett released a statement saying the Speaker's wife, Mary, had used the taxis to fetch food for official functions and added that she'd been accompanied by an official. However, the official turned out to be her personal cleaner, and it's alleged that they were merely going on shopping trips. Mr Grannett did not blame Michael Martin personally, but said he didn't want to be associated with the lack of ethics in the Speaker's department.
Ordinary members of the public see these allegations coming out and, OK, he hasn't broken the rules, but there's something wrong with the rules. And people think, well, why should MPs get away with it? Why should one set of rules apply to the people they elect and another to every other citizen in the country?
The pressure has been mounting in recent weeks on Mr Martin MP. As Speaker, he's entitled to a spacious apartment free of charge in Westminster. He uses a privately operated limousine service instead of the government's own fleet of more economical vehicles. Some ministers and MPs do the same. Mr Martin has used air miles from taxpayer-funded flights to obtain 7 business-class flights for relatives. The Parliamentary Standards Commissioner is investigating that now. He arrives at his home in Glasgow knowing that he's been able to claim £75,000 in housing subsidies over the last 6 years, despite the fact that he owns it outright. And then there's the £20,000 of taxpayers' money he spent on lawyers to fend off media criticism. Michael Martin left his home in Scotland without commenting today, yet he enjoys strong support in parts of the Labour Party.
There's a lot of smear and innuendo, and I think this is just part of a continuing campaign by some privately school-educated Oxbridge people who write in the right-wing newspaper south of the border, who have been attacking him right from the very start. They didn't want someone from a working-class background to go to one of the highest offices in the land.
The former chairman of the independent parliamentary watchdog sees the matter differently. The very integrity of Parliament itself, he says, is at stake.
I've argued very strongly that there should be a major review of MPs' expenses and allowances, and done by a body outside of the parliamentary system, because the Speaker himself has set up a group of 4 or 5 people to carry out a review, what he called a root and branch review, which clearly isn't going to satisfy the public that the issue's been dealt with properly.
The Speaker's flat at Westminster, one of the great perks of the job. How long Mr Martin MP will stay in it, an altogether different matter, however.